the Thanksgiving tree that we normally have out in the foyer every year, with a basket beside it where everybody leaves the things that they are grateful for. But this year we have it in the sanctuary, and people have already sent in things that they are very grateful for, and they're still coming in. So I would just like perhaps maybe just to take one and read one for us all to hear. And this one says, I am grateful for the teachings and the memories of my dear parents and of my ancestors. How beautiful.
And one more. I am grateful for the people who have a sunny disposition and smile when they see you. It can make my day so much more welcome.
How lovely. It's beautiful to have people's energies and blessings here. So my dear ones, you can still send them in. We're going to have the tree up until next Wednesday for a week. So do keep sending them in, because we love to have your wonderful energy here lighting up the sanctuary. And now we're going to have a lovely treat. Danny Sullivan is going to sing a beautiful Thanksgiving song for us all on gratitude as we watch some wonderful, meaningful pictures. So enjoy.
I've got a roof over my head. I've got a warm place to sleep. Some nights I lie awake counting gifts instead of counting sheep. I've got a heart that can hold love. I've got a mind that can think. There may be times when I lose the light and let my spirit sink, but I can't stay depressed when I remember how I'm blessed. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. I'm grateful. In a city of strangers, I've got a family of friends. No matter what rocks and brambles fill the way, I know that they will stay until the end. I feel a hand holding my hand. It's not a hand you can see. Through all the roads to the promised land, this hand will shepherd me through delight and despair, holding tight and always there. Grateful, 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 truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. It's not that I don't want a lot, or hope for more, or dream of more, but giving thanks for what I've got makes me so much happier than keeping score. In a world that can bring pain, I will still take each chance, for I believe that whatever the terrain, our feet can learn to dance. Whatever stone life may sling, we can moan or we can sing. Grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. Truly blessed and duly grateful.
And now, my dear ones, I'm going to ask you to join me in being quiet and still for a few moments so that we can be grateful, duly blessed and truly grateful, and know something big and something wonderful for all. So if it is comfortable for you, I would ask you to close your eyes and just be still and close out all of the distractions of the outer world, outer life. And join with me now as you take a deep breath in going within, into where all is well, always has been, and always will be. And in this state of inner calm and inner peace and inner joy, the sense of unity, the sense of all being well. So vision with me right now, you in some wonderful place that you like to go to, whether in person or in your mind, when you want to be in the company of your best good self, when you want to feel life surging through you, when you can express and appreciate the beauty and the grace of all of life around you. Some state, some place in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of everywhere, where you can just simply be light, unburdened, just open and receptive to all of the life energy around you and about you. And just drinking it in. And as you do, you allow it to just fill up all of your senses, to fill your mind, to fill your heart, to fill your body, to fill your soul with that sense of aliveness, vitality, energy, and a sense of all being well, the way life is meant to be, was created to be, and can be. And in that state now, just feel all of the love in your life and all of the wonderful things that you indeed can feel gratitude around, that you can bless and be thankful for, that you can know how deeply you are loved, you are cherished, you are supported. You are the livingness of a life in which you exist, a life all around you and all about you, above you, below you, moving through your mind, your body, your heart, your soul, all your senses, the presence and its potency. This is your essential self. This is how life truly is for those on the outside who have the inner eye to see and the inner heart to feel and are connected with the inner intelligence that knows that life is a whole thing, a complete thing, a unified thing. And now, just send all of that energy out into the minds and hearts of all of your loved ones and all of those about whom you care. And feel that vibrational energy being connected with and allowing these beautiful souls to feel as you feel, to be as you are right now, and to bathe in that same light, which is whole light, whole life, whole joy, whole health, whole fullness, whole completeness, the wholeness of spirit connected to all of its beauteous, individualized aspects of its own light. And because you are knowing it and feeling it and seeing you, all those light energy centers are bubbling with that same energy and are being changed by what they feel. And now a moment's quietness for you to absorb whatever it is in this essential state of inner wholeness. Allow yourself to receive it and to send it on out from you. And so with the breath that breathes me, I bless all of life. With the love that fills me, I send forth that love into all of life. With the power that sustains me, I send forth its strength into all of creation. And with my whole mind, my whole heart, my whole soul, and the embodiment that I am, I give thanks and I give praise to the creator of my being, the joy in my life, and the lover of my soul. source. And what I'm knowing for myself, I'm knowing for every person on this plane and all of life in all of creation. Good and only good. Love and only love. Light and only light. Peace and only peace. As I, in deep gratitude and faith, release this energy to move through all of life, knowing I am indeed heard and responded to as I say. And so it is. And so, my dear ones, here we are on this beautiful eve of Thanksgiving, rendering to God the things that are God's. And tomorrow we will render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's. So what is Thanksgiving all about, actually? I mean, it's so many things to me, really. But the one thing I honed in on was Thanksgiving is about blessing. It is about blessing. First and foremostly, for me to understand that I'm created as a blessing, to bless, to raise up, to lift up, to support, to advance, to participate in the service of life. And as one studies deeply what this blessing is, what this is, it is easy to see that what it truly means to bless somebody is to move grace, to move the energy, to move the power of spirit, to be its outlet, and to know and to feel only a deep desire that all people and all life should flourish and thrive, that all may know that they are more than they could ever possibly think they are. A blessing is an acknowledgement that I can go beyond what is visible, go beyond the physical, and then into that invisible awareness and understanding of the splendor in every single soul. It's that namaste thing, that Sanskrit word that's universal now. That means I'm awake enough, I'm connected enough to understand that there is a light within me that greets the light in every person I meet and in everything I behold and see. And that all that life is exchanges of light forces. And for those of us who are awake enough, blessed enough to be that much awake, even momentary at times, it's a super, super gift that we have allowed ourselves to acknowledge, to open up, and to share. That's what blessing is all about. To know good and only good for everything and everyone. Never even having to think about doing no harm. It wouldn't occur to us anymore. Not one moment would it occur to us. It's to be in touch with that inner genius that we hear about all the time from the mystics and the sages of all times. That there's this inner genius, this inner infinite intelligence, this altogether-ness, one glorious thing that each one of us are filled with and can access anytime we wake up and remember to do so. It's just so extraordinary. I was reading earlier this morning something that Brene Brown had said. And she was saying in this little segment that the most courageous thing any one of us could do would be to enter into our own story, unravel our own story. In spite of all of the challenges we will meet and all of the ups and downs we will meet in that story, and nevertheless to continue in faith to unravel it all so that we can get to that sense, that true sense of ourselves, and know ourselves to be worthy. Know ourselves to be worthy. And the journey is through the story. To be unafraid of it, to enter into it, to roll up our sleeves and just dig in. And not be put off by anything that we might encounter along the way of the storyline of our lives. She says that is the most courageous thing that any one of us could do, and I would concur with that. Because sometimes, let's face it, it's hard to even stand ourselves. Sometimes we're very disappointed with ourselves. Just sometimes when we forget that we're not just an ego, when we forget that we're not just a human being, and when we forget that we're so much more than all of that, and we become over-identified with our egoic lives, egoic minds producing a life that is up and down and topsy-turvy. Because that's all it can do, because to live from the ego is to live randomly, and you know that anything that's random is iffy. It's iffy. It's like rolling dice. Might be a good outcome, it might not be a good outcome. So perhaps this Thanksgiving, you and I could feel a little bit grateful for our own lives. Be grateful that once upon a time we were a divine idea in the mind of the Creator, and that the Creator thought enough of us to want to know itself in form by means of you and by means of me. Well, now, if it's good enough for the Creator, you would think it would be good enough for you and for me, but oh no, they're not good enough. He's not good enough, she's not good enough, that's not good enough. And we only know that because we feel that about ourselves. We're only knowing what we know about ourselves. It's everywhere we go, we meet ourselves. In everything we do, say, and think, and so on, we are meeting ourselves left, right, and center, because all of life is just a holographic thing. It's a hall of mirrors. Everywhere we go, everywhere we are, we're looking into our own image being reflected back at us. So this Thanksgiving, perhaps we could just be grateful that we're here, that we made it. Somewhere in one of the Buddhist books I read, it said that our greatest achievement of all time is the fact that we achieved birth, that it's such a rare thing. And yet we achieved it. It's our greatest accomplishment, and we'll never, overpass that. That's our greatest accomplishment, that we got birthed into being. To be being. To be a beautiful, wonderful point of light and power pulsating away in all of life. That's what we're here to be. So that the divine, the infinite, the creator, the force, the power, the infinite intelligence, whatever we want to call the unnameable, to name anything is to limit it, chose to be itself by you and by me. And I never tire of reminding myself of that, or reminding you of that either, because it's such an awesome thing. I'm grateful for that this Thanksgiving. I'm grateful for that in every single individual on the planet in this Thanksgiving. because I'm choosing to see the hidden splendor in every single one of us on this plane right now, regardless. And to be able to give thanks for that, I think, is an achievement indeed, so that I can look at everyone and everything. If I pass by somebody lying by the roadside, dressed in rags with the brown paper bag beside them, out for the count and so on, I no longer pity them. I look at them and I say, I know who you are. You're not this. And I am greeting your light, your power, your infinite essence. And I namaste them. That's what I do. Now, to bless is all about blessing every person, place, and thing. When you drive by a hospital, bless everybody who's working there and who's being served there. When you pass by a school, bless. When you pass by a jail, bless. When you pass by anything, bless it. Start living in that energy of blessing. Bless it. Since the time we were knee-high to grasshoppers, we have always blessed ambulances or anywhere there was a siren. We were taught by our good teachers to always remember when you hear those things that God is a very real and present help in the midst of it and is taking care of it. To this day, it's automatic with me. God knows these days there are enough sirens to keep us praying all of the time and blessing all of the time. But it's a beautiful energy. It's a beautiful energy to live in. And guess what, my dear ones? When we are blessing, there's no way we are criticizing, complaining, or condemning. It's impossible. It's impossible to enter into those 3 C's when we are blessing, when we are in gratitude, when we are in joy. That's impossible. So can you imagine what our lives would be like if we were to bless and bless and bless and bless and bless from the moment we open our eyes in the morning until we close them at night? We bless every blessed thing. And sometimes, yes, and you hear me say it too, we have to bless to begin with through gritted teeth sometimes until we catch ourselves on, pull ourselves together and gather in our wits, as my mother would say. But it's doable. Because we are awesome in our image and likeness of the divine. We are awesomely, amazingly able for anything that crosses our path. And you know, during these days, and God knows everybody has been challenged in many different ways, everybody. I don't care anybody I've met during this past year. I've heard about the challenges that they are having. And we're all in it. We're all in it. We're all in the same big pot of soup at the moment. But nevertheless, there is that genius within us. And if we can just remember, in the image and likeness I am made, and I can lean into the presence that fills me and call upon it and draw upon it to be the strength in my weakness, to be the knower when I know nothing, to be its own self by means of me especially when I'm not at my best. If I can just do that, that is indeed a blessing. I am so lifted up. I'm so inspired. I'm so moved by the beautiful stories I hear all the time. Thanks to you. We were the cause of great joy, not in just one individual, but many individuals. One of our wonderful members came in here during the week with bags and bags and bags and bags of groceries and asked if we could possibly use them. And boy, could we possibly use them. And for all of you who come in and leave your bags at the door, know it. It's making the difference. And when the lady who takes care, has a little team and takes care of 50 families, when she came in, when I told her on the phone, she said, "You have made my Thanksgiving." Now, you means all of you who are doing this. And when she came and filled up her car, she called me from the car and she was crying. And she said, I am so grateful. I am so grateful. And even the cans had little openers on the top that I can give to people who don't have a way to cook their food. I can't tell you how many tears I have cried in joy because we are in community together making a difference. It couldn't happen if we weren't. And one of the things that all of us in this room today and all who serve, one of the big things we are grateful for is each and every one of you. Each and every dear heart of one of you. Because even though you're not aware of it, as you sleep, you are making a difference by us here being in community, either virtually or in person. My heart fills with gratitude when I look at the few faces in the room right now who have faithfully served since COVID began. Never hesitating, never for a moment, never ever hesitate. Instead, how can I serve? How can I be of help? How can I assist? And they're the heart of you right now. They stand in for you right now. They speak through you right now. So I really want to spend a minute saying how grateful each and every one of us is for each and every one of you and all of our friends too, who also want to participate and do what they can do to make somebody else's life a little different. So please keep bringing gifts of the heart to the pantry table. Please remember all of the families in our Angel Tree project. Some of you already are beginning to send in either money or gift cards so that we can take care of their needs, especially this year more than ever before. And anytime a plea goes out, we're always delighted that some of you in the community, representing all of us, will show up and answer the call. We're so very, very grateful. And as I say, you'll never know the good that you're responsible for on this side of life. But you will one day, because that good is the good you will take with you over into your next life. Those are the only dividends you'll take with you, the only portfolio you'll take with you into your next life. So thank you for serving and supporting and being part of this beautiful divine idea in the mind of God called the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living that now has a world audience. Thanks to each one of us coming together and being in community to provide the facility for this to happen. It's a beautiful thing. And you know, this is a call for every single one of us. It's not just for the saints or the special ones. It's not just for the people who have so much. Not at all. Ordinary, everyday people, if there is such a thing, are doing great silent good in the world. I just happened to catch a little segment on one of the either morning shows or evening shows of a young man who's called into a lady's home to fix the light fixture in the ceiling. So he comes to the home and is greeted by a very pleasant elderly lady. He goes in and he fixes the light, but as he does, he sees that the whole place is really a nightmare as far as the electricity is concerned. And so he keeps coming back and doing more and more and more and bits and more and pieces until he has the whole house rewired. And then it dawns on him, I could get some of my friends, to do this for people like this lady. And so thanks to that one response to that lady's need, feeling the impulse of spirit in his heart, whether he knew it or not, he knew he could be of service. He could do something. He could make a difference. He could transform a life. And he did. Then he got his friends to do likewise. And now all over the place, there are groups of electricians coming together to serve people like this and bring comfort to them in this way. It's now a movement. It's a movement. A man, an unsung hero, and he's multiplied out there. There are so many like him out there, doing what they can do. That's all we're asked. Just do what you can do. It's like taking the daily bread that each one of us are given. And as you know, in our daily bread, we always cut some slices to give away and share, always. And it doesn't matter how small the loaf is or how big the loaf is, we put a slice aside to share. And our daily bread happens to be all our good, expected and unexpected. And if each and every one of us on this planet would do that, there would not be one person in need ever. Not one person in need of the basic essentials of life. So I would invite us all to remember that imagery, the daily loaf, whatever it is. Some days it'll be bigger, some days it'll be smaller, maybe even some days it'll be crumbs. But put a few aside. You won't miss them. I promise you, anything you put aside to give and to share, you will never, ever, ever miss. And it's going to come back to you. It really is. Not necessarily from the source you might imagine, but it will come back. Why? Because it's the law of reciprocity to experience that. You give something, you get something in return. So, blessed be, my dear ones. May you be blessed as you gather around your table, whether you're one person, you'll never just be one person. You'll have all your loved ones with you in memory, in heart, and in mind. Whether you're managing maybe outdoors to gather as a family, in safety and comfort and ease. However you choose to celebrate this Thanksgiving, please include some extended member of that gathering. Someone you know that could do with a reach out from you. It might just be a phone call or whatever that is. But please make a space at your table for somebody who perhaps doesn't have as much as we have. And just know this. You are very much remembered and very much a part of our community as ever you were, and probably more so. You're loved, you're cherished. No, we are here. However, we can be here for you, but we cannot be here for you if you don't let us know. Let us know. And may I thank you for all your love and all your support and all the good deeds that you're not even aware of and all the good thoughts you're not even aware of and all the good feelings that maybe you're not even aware of that's causing great and wonderful good in the world. Keep up the work and know that Spirit by means of you is always on the move and it's always forward, always, no matter what the circumstances seem to be. So, until we connect again, enjoy your time tomorrow, enjoy the rest of this beautiful night, and know in your heart gratitude for Source, for the source and the provider of all of your good, without which we could not be who and what we are. So we're going to move on now to the next part of our wonderful time together. And we're going to move to the table where you can see some candles, and we're going to continue with our blessings. And you're a big part of that. So please join us in this part of our wonderful time together, the blessing part. And I'm just going to get my, I think I left them up above. Up above.
At this time in our service, we are going to think of that energy of blessings that Dr. Moira spoke of. And we are going to direct that energy in some very specific ways. The first candle that I am lighting, I am lighting for those who have perished during this time from illness, perhaps away from all of their family, and that they have perished in a way that they felt alone. And as I light the candle, let us think of them.
And now I'm about ready to light a candle, honoring the light in all of those who have passed on during this year, especially those who were without their loved ones to comfort and hold them as they made their way into their new and glorious life. We know they're soaring, and our hearts go with them. But we bless especially those who are so sad and mourning so deeply the loss not only of the loved one, but the loss of being physically there with them and sending them on their way with love and hugs and presents. And we light the candle, honoring the sadness we feel as we remember our loved ones who will always have a part in the celebrations of our lives and be present at our tables always. And we offer our sadness in honor of the lives that they shared with us as we salute them on their way. Okay. And we say their names and hold them in our hearts.
I light this candle for those family members that are away from us this holiday season, either because they are too far away or because they simply can't be with us this day. So as I light this candle, say their names out loud as you remember them, and we light the candle.
And this candle now, as we stand by it and are ready to light it, we bless all those who have become jobless, homeless, lost their sense of financial security, who are enduring any kind of loss or lack at the moment. And we're knowing for them that somehow, deep within them, that light that burns brightly will touch their minds and touch their hearts, and they can remember their source, lean into that source, and trust that source, and somehow find within themselves the strength and courage to know that good will come out of this, and that their lives will heal and mend and fix as they open themselves now to fullness and plenty and whole life. And so we honor the faith within them now as we light this candle. And if you know anybody, please remember them and speak their names and bless them.
We light this candle for all of the medical personnel whose work, whose sacrifice, whose service has made such a profound difference in our world. We acknowledge all of those who have worked so hard over the last months to make sure that our lives have been able to be lived with food, with care, with goods. As I light this candle, please say the names of those you know.
We light this candle now for all those who are with us at this time, for the family who can join us, and the friends who are family now, and for all our loved ones that we still are able to see in person. We bless them all, and we know for each and every one that we ourselves could not be the wholeness and the fullness of ourselves without them in our lives and their beautiful support. So bless them and speak their name as we light this candle, honoring the love and the friendships in our lives.
I light this candle in honor of the joy of Thanksgiving that gives all of us the opportunity to say our blessings out loud, to count them, to remember them, and to know the joy of the gifts and blessings we have been given.
And now we honor the light that has been kindled within our own hearts, in our own minds. And from that light, joined with the light of all of these candles, we know this. May all who suffer right now in any way be comforted, be open and receptive to their healing, and may they know that they are always held by a love that never leaves them. We also know this. May every mind and every heart on this plane be open in love to support and affirm life, and never, ever, ever consciously think in terms of being any kind of harm in our world. May all be strengthened with the grace that fills us, the love that lives us, and the light that guides us. And may each and every one of us be filled with that sense of privilege that calls us into sacred service, to show up in our lives, however we can show up in our lives to make a difference, to be the blessing, and to be the soothing, calm, beautiful balm of the light of Spirit itself, wherever we are, whether we are alone or whether we are in company. May we always be touched by that sense of presence that knows only how to greet in Namaste, The light within me greets the light within you. I bow to the godliness that you are. And for each and every one of us here present tonight, and those who are in our community especially, and the global community, may the power of Spirit protect us. May the light of Spirit guide us. May the love of Spirit fill our hearts and minds always. And may we always know what it is to be loved, to be cherished by the one who chose to be itself by means of you and by means of me. This is our blessing. This is our prayer in this beautiful Thanksgiving Eve. And so, thank you, Reverend Catherine, and we bless all. Let's put our hand over the lights and all the intentions as we say, these blessings have been heard, and these blessings have been responded to, and so it is. And now, before we leave each other, we are going to celebrate our own fullness. We're going to celebrate our own plenty. And we're going to share from our daily bread as we are used to doing. And I want to thank you for it. I want to thank you for these wonderful little envelopes that come in with your blessing, your financial support, helping us to maintain the for future generations and also to keep up the good work that we are engaged in here. A life that is blessed is a life well lived. A life that blesses is a life very well lived. A life that gives and shares and receives is a blessed life indeed. So let us bless our gifts and take our gifts between our blessing hands and say, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. It blesses all those who give, and it blesses all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. Thank you again for supplying our food table, our pantry, and for all the myriads of ways you make the difference. And we're going from the depths of our hearts, from your ministers, your practitioners, your volunteer staff, from your staff, and from the Board of Trustees, we wish you a blessed and peaceful Thanksgiving. And we look forward to our next time together. And so to all of you, and those of you who are in the community but can't be with us tonight, a blessed and a wonderful, wonderful week of it. And I will leave you and say hello to the family in Ireland. Believe it or not, they're looking in because they love the idea of a Thanksgiving day. And I'll leave you the way the children always leave in greeting. Ryan and Isla, we love you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.